What is going on, everyone? Welcome back. Doing a new pickups video here, trying out a little bit of a different format. So this time we'll at least have the face cam. Instead of sort of flipping through everything on the just on my desk, I figured I'd go through here to my eBay store and scroll through stuff. Maybe that would be at least a little bit of a different look. So it's very important that I'll need some feedback on what you guys think. If this is more interesting than just sort of flipping through the cards one by one, or what you guys would basically prefer, even if this is the only one I do in this format. So it's really up to you guys, sort of whatever feedback I get. I think this could at least be somewhat of an interesting mix up. At least having the face cam will add a little bit to it. So anyways, we'll just go ahead and get right into it. Starting off just at the homepage of my eBay store. Figured we could just go through here and sort by newly listed and then kind of go through the categories one by one, see what the new pickups would have been sort of for each category. And so I'll just sort here by newly listed. And then first off, we can just sort of start. I got everything in my store is divided into one of these 5 categories. So we got post-war baseball graded. That's where probably most of the stuff is going to be. Got pre-war, that includes both graded and ungraded. Got basketball, football, and hockey, so that's got all the other sports mixed in there. Autographs, pretty self-explanatory, and then ungraded / raw baseball, pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so we'll start off and sorted by newly listed. Go ahead, go through post-war baseball. And then here is all the new stuff sorted in order of when it was listed. So we'll start off here. I won't go through every single one, but I'll just sort of just kind of click on some of them that would maybe be more interesting, or the highlights, I guess. Some of these you will have seen if you already watched the Phoenix card show video. I picked up lots of these there, and then some are from just like Facebook and eBay and some other places that I'll buy. Starting off, got this Tom Seaver rookie SGC2, pretty nice looking card. I mean, Seaver rookie, always going to be a good one. So that's a fun one to start with. Some of the other stuff here, 60 Mantle, Koufax rookie. That one, I don't think that one was in the Phoenix video, but I did pick it up there. I just don't think there was any footage of that one. Gibson rookie. The first card I bought in Phoenix, and this one looks really nice. You know, it's got pretty good centering even for a 7.5, and then the color is just absurd on this. It's got a really bright pink color to it. So that was definitely one of the coolest pickups there in Phoenix. SGC, I'm not a big fan of how big the number is up here, but something about when they have a half grade, I kind of like the look of it. You know, if it says 7.5, 8.5, I think it looks much cooler than just saying a big, you know, a 5 or whatever. I don't know, the half grades, I seem to like those a little bit more at least. Going through some of this other stuff. Adrian Beltre, not one I've ever had before. Got that one at the show. At least it's a chrome, PSA 10. I don't know, I've been picking up more and more of that junk wax to 80s, 90s stuff. So I figured that was one that will sell eventually. 54 Bowman Mantle, that one was from the Phoenix show. Jackie here, 55 Jackie. That one, my dad went to a more local show when I was at the Phoenix show. So there was one in Ohio, and he went and picked up a couple things. So that was one of those. Nice fresh grade on it there. That's a pretty cool card. Some of these others, 53 Mays. That was a big one from Phoenix. Pretty nice looking for PSA 2. I'm not sure if there's any creases or anything. See, it's got a scratch on the back of the slab, so I at least got to disclose that in the listing. But that's, you know, super popular Mays card. High number, pretty good one. At least somewhat of a newer grade. Handful of others. Got the Ripken, 9.5. This one here, yeah, this one was from Phoenix. There's a couple other ones on here. There wasn't very many that were listed. This is the cheapest one available on here. I think someone was asking like $1,700 for theirs or something, and then there was an SGC 9.5 that was priced at like $1,600 or $1,700, something like that. So that's how I priced that one. Really nice 56 Mays that was picked up at the local show here while I was over in Phoenix. Centering on this thing is great. I mean, it's a really good looking card. As you can see, along with that Jackie, looks like they were from the same order, or at least both very, very fresh grades. Anytime I pick up stuff like that, I mean, that's really what I'm looking for. 52 Burke Ross Ted Williams. This one I got on eBay, and the PSA scans aren't fantastic on this. It's sort of makes it a little dark. The color pops a little bit more than it does here in these PSA scans, but it's got a really deep blue background, and that's a big, big thing for this set. The color is oftentimes just super bad on them. So if you can get one that actually has really nice color and everything, the Burke Ross, and the registration is pretty good on this one too. So that's a very important thing for this set, is to get one that actually looks like it was printed correctly. Another one here, one of the coolest, at least rarest finds from Phoenix. Got this 76 O-Pee-Chee Dennis Eckersley PSA 9. Put this one at $3,500. It's the only one listed on eBay. At least when I bought it, there hasn't been any sales in the last 2 years of a PSA 9. So it's sort of a tough one to value. I put it at $3,500. Looking at the multiplier on a tops from an 8 to a 9, it was about a 10x. So a PSA 9 of a tops is worth about 10x what a PSA 8 tops is. So I sort of did the same thing here on the O-Pee-Chee. A PSA 8 or SGC 8 was about 300 to 350. So I put about 10x on that, and that's how I ended up with this. And the last two sales as well, although they were a couple years ago, were 2,700 and then 4,000 were the last two sales on that. So that's at least how I came up with a number for a rarer card like this. There's a few different ways you can sort of try to at least figure out a rough market value on it. See what other ones of these here would be some highlights. This one's a really nice Maze Musial, and even for an 8, I mean, it's incredible. I'll at least get a quick look at that. I mean, it's not going to be the craziest card from the show, but I mean, you can see just centered corners and edges are just great. I mean, that's a fantastic card. Considered cracking and sending back in to get a 9, but that's not really my game. Searching for high grades. Really well centered K-line rookie. I mean, this one's great looking card. Sort of getting to the end here of the at least post-war baseball stuff that was new. This one I sent in myself, got this graded, Old Gold Jackie PSA 4. I mean, that's really nice. There's only a couple graded any higher than this. Not sure exactly what the pop counts are. Okay, yeah, there it is. So yeah, it looks like there's 9 higher, and this one's freshly graded, so it's probably one of the nicer of the 12 4s that there are. And then there's only 8 5s and 1 6, so that's one of the nicer copies in existence. Just a cooler Jackie rookie. So that was a cool one. And then we start to get back into some of the other stuff. These would have been from Chicago. Yeah, so we got the 53 Bowman Mantle. I mean, that's a gorgeous card. May as well throw that one on screen again. Some nice eye candy. Super good looking card. And then we'll scroll back up here into some of the other categories and see what we can find. So that was most of the post-war graded. Pre-war, there wasn't a ton of pickups. These two, see, the only one from the show was this Huey Jennings. And then these couple of Ruths here were also newer. So a nice M101 Jennings and a 3. A couple Gaudy Ruths. Neither one of these were from the show. One was from Facebook, and I think the other one I bought online somewhere. Nice PSA 2, new grade on the 35 Gaudy. And then an authentic altered 33. So that's a cool one. Anytime you can get a 33 Gaudy Ruth, that's always something I'm looking for. That's one of the cards that, if you're walking by someone's case, will stop, make you look really quick. And I'll just scroll through a couple other. The pre-war ones, won't spend too much time on them because these were all, like I said, from some older shows. But yeah, pretty cool category there. And most of the highlights will be in this next one, is basketball, football, hockey. That's where a lot of the really cool pickups came from. Thorpe. This one was from the more local show. I'm not even sure if I've had one of these, which is kind of crazy. I may have had like one before. But yeah, that's one from the more local show, and then a handful of these here. Elgin Baylor rookie, PSA 7. Pretty nice card there. The 61 Fleer set, I mean, probably the best basketball set. Basketball is nice because the few sets that they're all incredibly loaded. So you got some really good cards in all of them. 61 Fleer and 86 Fleer, obviously both incredible sets. This koozie here, great looking card. It's not perfectly centered, but I mean, for 57 tops, this is pretty absurd centering. I mean, this might be like the hardest set ever to get centered. It's so tough to find these. And I'll just kind of look up, kind of get a live price check for the koozie and sort of, I guess, go through and figure how I price this one. So if you look at any of the sales in the last 4 or 5 years, you're not going to find any that are as well centered as mine. You can see all these even being 7s just kind of look pretty rough. This is probably the nicest centering one, at least in comparison to mine, but it's still not quite there. So it's one of those cards that you just kind of got to go with your gut feeling and some experience. Throw a number out there that seems to make sense. So I put 5,500 on it. You can always lower it if it doesn't get any bites, but I figured for the centering it has, that was a pretty fair starting point. Just because you're not going to see on any of these like I was showing. I mean, the centering's pretty atrocious on all of them. And that set's just impossible to find centered. So this one, I don't know, that's a big question mark, but that's one of the higher upside pickups from Phoenix. 61 Fleer Russell. It's a gorgeous card. Really nice color on it. Crisp color, not many print dots or anything like that. Sharp corners. That was a really sweet deal getting all those high grade basketball. Definitely the second best selling sport for me besides baseball. And especially when you stick to like the big rookies, I mean, it sells just as well as baseball does. Dr. J and a 7. That's a pretty well centered one. What else we got here? Bellamy and an 8. That's a tough card. That jumps a lot from a 7 to an 8. Gretzky rookie 2.5. I'll show this one. I love Gretzky rookies, man. These are so good. It's got that little chip there right at the end of his stick, right along that blue, which causes the grade. But I mean, outside of that, like the color is really nice, as you can see. Decent centering. Overall, pretty good eye appeal. What else we got here? I picked up this Dr. J. I don't know, $20. I think I paid something like that. Dr. J rookie for $20. I mean, can't really go wrong on that. What else we got? This is a really nice 8 on this Dr. J here. Well centered, newer grade. I mean, that card is just, that's like the Gretzky of basketball. I mean, that thing just sells like crazy. Some of those are just ridiculous, the super popular cards. Ken Dryden is just insane. I mean, this thing is like a 9 or a 10 all day. I mean, these corners are just razor sharp, centered well, new label. That's a gorgeous looking card. One of the few hockey cards I'll actually pick up. I'll basically just do the Gretzky, Lemieux, maybe Messier, Howe, or and then this one. So there's not too many, just because it's not something I really would say I specialize in, but you know, it's a cool one. Then we get back into some of the Chicago pickups. You got that Wilt and Barkley, Brady rookie, some of the other stuff. Thought about doing a video like this just to sort of scroll through my store, either once a month or just, I don't know. I haven't put too much thought into it, but at some point just sort of scroll through and see what we got. No new autographs from this show, but yeah, here's some of the autographs I got, so I'll just quickly scroll through these. Aaron was from Chicago. That's a good one. Let me see what else. Got a lot of Ozzie Smith rookie autos. I have a decent amount, but not a ton of autos. So yeah, there's what I got for those. And then I didn't get anything new into the raw category. I can go and sort somewhere here. Yes, I can sort by sold. all orders. Let me see. Because there's some that I listed that I've already sold. Like, let me see here. Okay, this one must have just sold, this Samurai. That's pretty sweet. Okay, so that was from Shipshawana is where I got that one. Doc Gooden, PSA 10. This one was from the Phoenix show. Got this one, it sold right away. Man, that 84 Fleer update set. That's just, I love that set. That's amazing. Walter Johnson. What else would have been new here? Let me think. Oh, this one. O-Pee-Chee Ryan. Got this one from that show. I listed it when I was in the airport, and it sold by time I even landed in the next city. May have sold that one too cheap. The last sale was like 500, but it was like old label and off center and from 2 years ago. So I just sort of threw a number out there because it was the only one listed, and it sold really quick. So I don't know, never go broke taking a profit, I guess. But yeah, that's some of the newer stuff. This 56 Maze was a new pickup, and that sold too. But that's at least the extent of the Phoenix, and then other just more recent pickups. Let me see what else. Yeah, I guess that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think about this format. If you guys sort of prefer this to the desk format, going through one card at a time. I thought it may at least keep things interesting with a handful of cards on the screen at all times. So let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll make sure to take all that feedback into account. Of course, the link to my eBay store will be in the description of the video, so go ahead and check that out. Got some more show vlogs planned coming up soon. We got Strongsville, so I'll be at Strongsville coming up. I'll be set up there. And so check out the trade night there also that For Collectors is putting on after the show. That'll be definitely worth going to. I believe it's just in the hotel in the ballroom. So yeah, appreciate everyone checking out the video, and I'll catch everyone next time.